Hey guys, this is James Shooter for naturettl.com, and today we're going to be looking at the top tips for aerial photography using drones. Drones don't like the rain. Not only are your motors going to get wet, but also the front of your camera, so just don't do it. Strong winds can be a problem as well. They can lead to shaky footage, but also the propellers coming into shot as the whole drone leans forwards. As a general rule of thumb, you want a fast shutter speed that's going to counteract the vibrations that the propellers are going to make in the air. For film, you actually want the opposite. You want a slow shutter speed, and that's really going to smooth out those vibrations and create a smoother video overall. It's worth noting that sometimes you can't get to those slow shutter speeds, and you can actually get a neutral density filter that will block out some of the light going into the drone, so you can achieve those slower shutter speeds of around a 50th of a second when filming. Aperture wise, you can't choose an aperture on a DJI Phantom, and that's worth noting. And also the ISO capabilities aren't that great because it's such a small sensor. If you're wanting different settings, it might be worth looking at Inspire, which is a grade above, where you can choose aperture and the ISO is going to be better as well. Now, because you can't really use graduated neutral density filters with drones, especially when filming because the horizon's forever shifting, you really want to be shooting either front lit or side lit. If you shoot backlit, you're going to be shooting into the sun, and that bright sky is going to be too hard to balance the land. The only thing you need to watch out for if you're shooting front lit, if the sun's directly behind you, it's going to create a little halo in your image, and that's because the sunlight's dispersing through the propellers in the drone. It's not so much of an issue in still photography because you can just clone it out, but in moving photography, it can really spoil a shot as it's tracking through your scene. With lighting in mind, if you do have to shoot backlit or there isn't very much sunlight on your land, you can bracket the scene. So that means taking 3 or 5 different exposures, and then you'll blend them together in Photoshop afterwards to balance the scene. So it can be achieved a different way. In the air, you'll see some spectacular vistas. I almost always choose to do several panoramas at a 16:7 format alongside the more standard 6:4. This will incorporate more of the scene, and it will also add to your resolution. This Phantom 3 Professional actually only shoots at 12 megapixel files, so by shooting panoramas, you're increasing that file size. Now, just because your camera's in the air, it's easy to think that your camera's getting great shots no matter what. That's not always the case, so you still need to follow the rules of landscape photography. Remember the rules of thirds, look for leading lines in the landscape, and maybe sometimes even cut out the sky, look for patterns or different perspectives from straight above. So cheers for watching my tips for aerial photography. I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe learned something along the way too. And the main 3 things to remember is be responsible, get creative, and don't break it.
Let's go, cause this is our jam. This is our jam.